tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans, they'd have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so
Okay,
I can
okay, come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live, Amazon Music, GeoSound, Podchaser, Rumble, and more. And you are tuned into a show about hope and happiness. So if you're looking for gossip, scandal, any K words, Kardashian, Kanye, whatever, you're in the wrong place. But if you're looking for something that is going to start your day in the most positive way, then stay here. And I'm so delighted that I get to start new series. And today is actually our second show, I believe. It feels like we've been doing this a long time, but I thought I was hashtag the most positively opinionated person that I know, but she may be in the running to beat me at that. Please welcome today to my studio, Beth Linder-Moss. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can I get you to come a little closer to the camera so our heads are about the same size and your sound is a little louder because it's kind of soft. Beautiful flowers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's just jump right in with our gratitude sandwich because we've got a lot to talk about today. It's one of my favorite topics, which is complaining and procrastinating when it comes to good health. I've always wanted to be a procrastinator, but I never got around to it. I will formally introduce you in a second, but yesterday I missed my gratitude sandwich and somebody raised it to me and I said, I better make sure we start it today. So here's the deal. 8 specific gratitudes that are outside of yourself. That's the top of the bun for our breakfast gratitude sandwich. The bottom of the bun is 8 things you like about yourself, appreciate about yourself on the inside. So, Beth, next time you're on, I'm going to have you introduce the gratitude sandwich. So, but I'll have you start with your first gratitude today.
My first gratitude is that I am lucky enough to love what I do every single day. I love my job, so it's not a job because I never feel like I'm working because I just love what I do.
Fantastic. I am grateful that this morning when I was doing my laps, I love the sound of birds that sing for no reason at all. And they were doing a hallelujah chorus this morning, so I was happy about that. What's another gratitude?
I think I'm going to say, and I know people say it all the time, my dog, Rosie. I'm so grateful for her as she just brings, so much joy and love into every family. You walk in the door and she's like, yay! Even 10 seconds later, you walk back in, she's like, yay!
That's so cute. What kind?
She's a mutt. So she's 16
Rescue.
pounds. She's a little mutt, but she's adorable and she's such a good girl. So,
and I think that dogs are the only sentient being that is capable of unconditional love. Like we try even as parents and it doesn't. If you would just do this, I'd be happy. But dogs, right there. The only problem is if I had a dog, I'd never date again because I wouldn't need anything.
It's true. She's like everything. She literally is. She's like, I talk to her about everything, right?
That's wonderful. I'm grateful that the sun is shining no matter what it's like in your life or what the weather is. I just overheard it's supposed to start raining again on Wednesday. We need the water, but I'm solar powered, but I know that the sun is shining somewhere, even when it's not shining here.
Well, I know you're in like LA, but I'm in New Jersey, and I am grateful for the amazing weather that we've been having. So was like 60 degrees the other day. It was great. We're walking around in sweatshirts and no jacket, which is amazing. So I'm grateful for the weather that we're having.
That's great. I'm grateful for flowers because, as my teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith, my big brother, says, flowers are just a god or whoever you want to call that higher power. I'm going to call mine. Mine is UPS man, Universal Power Source, is evidence of God or UPS man smiling. If you think about it, why are flowers? Like they're not necessarily something we eat, something we use for power. So they're just evidence of a friendly universe.
All right. And I'm grateful. I probably said this one last time, but I'm still grateful for the fact that I get to work out every single day. I know that's something that we're talking about today, but that keeps me very sane and very happy. So I'm grateful that I get to work out daily.
Fantastic. I'm grateful that I have a lot of clothes in my closet. And now that I've released the weight, I have like a new wardrobe. Yeah, so that's definitely one of the benefits and something I'm super grateful for. All right, let's go to the bottom of the button, which is appreciation. What do you like about yourself? And feel free to slap your own appreciation in the comment section. I see eyeballs rolling in from all over the place. Welcome to the show. This is Step Up to Your Best Life with Beth Linder-Moss and moi. So go ahead and feel free to do that. And I'll let you start again, Beth. What do you like about yourself?
I like that I am able to listen to people and to listen to people and have and have empathy towards them.
Fantastic. I appreciate that I have a sense of humor that sometimes people don't get it the first time, but second time we're good.
I got it now.
Yeah, my husband told me almost every day how I was not funny, like literally. And that's the best gift of divorce for me. I own my funny.
There you go. And I am grateful that I can laugh. I love being able to laugh. One of the best medicines out there, laughter.
Absolutely. It's cardio for your soul, and it's my favorite sound in the world. I appreciate that I have ears that I can listen or try to listen.
I guess I'm up again. I'm grateful that, you know what, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm grateful for being able to dream and dream big. So I'm grateful that because of my dreams, I wrote my book and I'm on with you. So I'm grateful for dreaming.
Yay. Speaking of which, if you actually have literal dreams, once a month on the second Wednesday of the month, I have a dream expert that comes on, Julie Lore, and she is, a dream expert. So if you ever want your dreams interpreted, it's like a $200 gift that she gives every month to people to call in. So keep that in mind. We can get a co-host in there. All right. And I appreciate that I don't have to look for love and compliments and approval in all the wrong places. It's one of the best lessons I've learned to say, what you think of me is none of my business. And who cares? And my newest word is NOMB, NOMB, none of my business. And that gives me so much peace because I'm less rocked by compliments and criticism. So I appreciate that about myself. And that is Breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Beth Linder-Moss. Thanks for taking that bite of the gratitude sandwich with us. And now the formal introduction. Beth Linder-Moss is the author. She mentioned her book, Amazon bestselling book, Think Healthy, Be Healthy, and hosts a weekly national syndicated podcast. Actually, 2 now, because you're on here too. Beth is a certified health and wellness coach, certified personal and group fitness trainer, certified sports nutritionist, and an exercise physiologist, having earned her Bachelor of Science from Penn State University. Beth Linder-Moss has helped thousands take positive steps in their journey to a healthier life through the written word, social media, one-on-one training, and group sessions. Welcome back to the show, Beth Linder-Moss. And since I'm always about affirming, you can never have too much applause. I hit the wrong button though, but you got like a bump and then applause. And last week, man, you got beautiful endorsements from your students that came on and chatted. You can do that anytime. Those of you who just tuned in a little bit late, that's okay. We're about to launch into a very fun topic, but very real topic, because many people have lost that love and feeling with their New Year's resolution to be more healthy, and all the very creative excuses that people have. I listed a couple of them yesterday, and I wonder where I got that from. I don't feel like getting sweaty. My legs hurt. My head hurts. I was good working out yesterday, so I deserve a break. And there are a lot of people who are in way worse shape than I am, and they're not working out. So why do I have to? So there's some of my excuses, but Beth is here to enlighten us with some of the biggest excuses and, most importantly, how to overcome them. So I would love for you to be honest with yourself. If you're listening right now and tuned in, I'm on streaming live on my YouTube channel, which is my show central. I'm now on, this is show 883. But who's counting? And also consecutively 564 consecutive weeks. So if you'd like to check in the comment section, I can throw what your excuses are onto the screen and let Beth tackle those. So Beth, here we go. Tell me why this is so important in the first place, and if you ever have excuses yourself.
Well, it's super important, obviously, for all the benefits of exercise that it does for you. And that's like, that could be like a whole nother podcast. But obviously, we make these goals for ourselves and we want to stick to them, right? So instead, we don't want to keep letting ourselves down. We want to keep going and meeting the goals that we set. Sometimes we set goals that maybe aren't as realistic, but let's try and step them back and make them realistic. And a lot of times everyone is like, I got to go to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm totally going to do it this year. This is the year, right? And at this point, it's mid-February and they went a couple times and now not so much. So it's super important, obviously, to get into those fitness goals because of all of the health benefits that you have, which is the basic ones that we go into, decreasing stress, increasing your cardiovascular, decreasing your risk for cardiovascular disease, increasing your sleep, making you more confident, getting your muscles all toned, which helps to decrease your chance of osteoporosis. And you're going to also get that amazing mood you get from working out. So many times people, say, I don't want to go. And then afterwards you feel so good and you feel the benefit like all day long. So these are some of the basic things of benefits of working out. So we want to make sure that you're getting that. But the number one excuse that I hear all the time is, I don't have time. I have no time in my day. I am so busy. Well, we're all busy, right? We're all busy. We all have that excuse. But what I'm going to say is that you can fit it in. The first thing you could do is pencil it in onto your calendar or type it into your calendar, right? And say, from this time to this time, that is my workout time, right?
I just think it's hilarious that you're answering that question before you saw it. Thank you, Al Lagrada. What do you say to those who say that they just don't have the time to exercise? Wow, that was like a little psychic there. She's answering you before she saw the question. Love it, love it, love it.
On the same line. So first of all, you can schedule it in. And then on some days, maybe you truly don't have, like you're traveling or that day is just so busy. But what you can do also is you could take like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes later. You can still get 30 minutes in by doing 10 minutes 3 times throughout the day. So that is like an easiest way to like get it in. Another thing you could do is you can schedule it in. Take your dog for a walk, for goodness sakes. You can count that too. Go for a speed walk with your dog instead of kind of being lackadaisical with it. But you could kind of go for like a speed walk with it, but with your dog, because we got to get the dogs out also. So, but you can definitely find the time by scheduling it into your day or splitting it up throughout the day, many times throughout the day, just 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes. And there you go. You got 30 minutes in. It doesn't mean that you have to go hardcore for an hour every single day. That is not what you have to do. You can split it up. Some days you have the time, go hardcore. On the other days, split it up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Who let the dogs out? What I was saying. Who let the dogs? We've got another wonderful testimonial for you. Colleen Caffrey Dangle. I hope I said that right. Beth has taught me, even though I have back issues, don't miss a day. Come each day and modify if I need to. That will help strengthen my back. Self-care is important. Yes, yes, yes. She's preaching to the choir, which is fantastic. Welcome to the show, Colleen.
We could go right off of that one right there and say, I have my back hurts, my elbow hurts, my hair hurts, my toe hurts, right? Well, we can go off of all of that and say, do what you can. Be happy that you're doing it, first of all. Second of all, there's ways, I always find a way around everything. So if someone has an issue, I will be able to help you find ways to keep exercising and doing the things that you can do. For example, with the back issues, right? You don't have to jump. You don't have to go run hard. If you do a low impact exercise, you can still get your heart rate up and you're still going to get amazing benefits from your workout. If you have zero impact, go into a pool, right? Go into a pool. There's pools and, no matter where you live, there's places that have indoor pools, outdoor pools, wherever it is that you are. And that's a zero impact right there. So you can get amazing workouts in the pool. You can obviously ride a bike. You could do an elliptical. And if you don't want to have any equipment at all, we could find a ways around it. Even if you're telling me that it hurts because of your foot or something, I could still find you a million ways for you to exercise, because it's so important to get that cardiovascular exercise in. It's also super important to get in weight training, because we want to make sure that we're not getting osteoporosis as well. So, and you want to build muscle. And when I say build muscle, I don't mean big guns muscle. It just means muscle that you have, because that muscle is going to help strengthen all of everything within you, so that you have, like I said, the osteoporosis, but it also, the more muscle you have, the quicker your metabolism is, and you can burn all the stuff that you're eating even quicker. So that's another benefit to it.
Fantastic. Now I'm gonna put the moose on the table and talk about the effect and the excuses that come from a strong critic. And I think that almost everybody except one guest I've ever talked to, Marianne Williamson, I asked her if she had that voice in her head that beats her up, or that inner critic or whatever. And she said no, but everybody else I've talked to has that internal voice. And she's done a lot of work in this area. So, that's fantastic. My inner critic is named Rose. And in my coaching practice, I find it very helpful to name that voice, so I can actually address that voice that says, and to go and give the examples all around what we've been talking about. I've had 2 hips replaced. So at a I'm ageless, but a relatively young age,
And I would say, I can't do yoga because it hurts my hips, and I can't bike or walk for a long time, and I'm in excruciating pain. This was before the hip replacement process started. And so that would be, I'm truly in pain. So I had an easy out. I had an easy, well, I don't want to, I can't do this, because I would go to trainers and I would tell them, and they would go, oh, that's just an excuse, and then make me do high impact. And then I'd be like bedridden for the next 3 days. And then I would worse beat myself up. So for any women, especially who are hypercritical, might be able to relate. It's like, I remember an older woman who looked so hot, and I knew her when I was a teenager in Singapore. And I'm like, how does she look like that? She's at the gym every day for an hour and a half. And I go, I do not have time to spend. I choose not to spend an hour and a half in the gym. And so I would rather live my life. That's an excuse that I haven't heard yet, because I choose to, and we're in this big, you have to love your body where it is, and, love your big body, and, Dove and all that. A big is good. And so that's another excuse. It's like, well, people should not be discriminating for size. So there's another one. Another one is, I'll never do enough. Like, even if I do a bike and pool, well, you should have done weights. So I'm screwed, because no matter what I do, I am in do because it's never enough. I'm never enough, no matter how much weight I've lost, but I haven't met this goal, or I have still this to go, or da. And that craziness can keep me, it's, I call it the labyrinth of shiitake. I start at stinking thinking. I go to worst case scenario. I'm always going to be, fat and ugly. I'm always going to, look badly. I'm never going to be my modeling weight again. So why bother? I'm never going to look like what I did before. So why bother? And then the last one is Effinator, the bottom of the barrel, which is, it's all my fault. And I will say that for many children who've had childhood trauma, that's 7 out of 10 of us, the majority have had childhood trauma. That Effinator, that labyrinth of shiitake, that progression down will keep us in bed with the covers over our head, eating things we shouldn't be eating, not going out for a walk, not working out. So that's my excuse that I have used and gained, 40, 50 pounds over more than one time. So I want to put that moose on the table, just because, it might be something that people are struggling with. So what would you say to me, someone who is, imperfect and has that very strong critic in their head? Because I know it makes sense. Yeah, I'll feel better. Yeah, it'll be healthier. Yeah. And up here, the logic is there, but the critic is so strong that it screws you up, because it says, well, you're never going to look like that. So why bother even try?
Well, I know that is a very common thing. I think there's a lot of people out there who are absolutely relating to what you're saying. So I definitely know that you understand that there's so many people that relate to you. So what I would say, first of all, is the first thing I would do is to surround yourself with people who support you, first of all, who can help you get past some of these things. Because sometimes you have people who, like, when you put all the crabs, right? You put crabs in like a barrel, and when one crab start coming up, like the other ones start pulling it down, right? So they want misery meet what they want company, right? So what I would say is start surrounding yourself with people who are positive, who want you to succeed. They can also help get some of those negative, critical thoughts out of your head. When you start saying, like, maybe even if it's somebody wants to go for a walk with you every day, right? They can start talking and you guys start walking and you get that workout buddy. Sometimes that is just like a huge thing, because you're giving each other therapy sessions at the same time, right? What stays in the, but you know, when you're working out, stays there, right? It's the same thing as like Vegas. It's the same thing with your workout partners. It doesn't go anywhere. So I would suggest that sometimes you maybe find somebody to work out with that, or just your support system is just huge. As soon as you get a support system, they're also going to help you. And even if it's like, you know what, you said, just say you were like, oh, I don't want to have pizza this week, right? But then you're going out to lunch and you're with somebody and they're like, hey, let's have pizza. Or you say, let's have pizza, I should say, actually. You say, let's have pizza. And they're like, you know what? We talked about that. Let's not have pizza today. Let's go for the salad, right? Just people supporting you. Or it's raining outside and you don't want to go for the walk, but your workout partner is like, hey, let's go meet at the mall and go mall walking. So a lot of times, if you can start to get some of those little things out of your head and have a support system, first of all, that I think is great. Another thing I would say is that, we all have those negative thoughts, and we're always saying to say, push the negative, make it positive. And you and I are both very positive people. So it's definitely easier for us to turn up a negative into a positive. But I would suggest that we just keep doing that. So if we keep saying some of the negative thoughts, even if it's one thought that we change into a positive, that's like golden. That's amazing. And then eventually we keep going on, and more of those thoughts are going to be turning positive. So take a little spin on some of those negative thoughts that are going on. I know that we have lots of them. We all do. And first of all, you're definitely not the only one who sits there and say, I don't like this part of my body. I don't like that part of my body. I don't like this. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. And we have to keep pushing ourselves down. But if we can find something small each day, or every couple of days, each week, whatever it is, we can start bringing ourselves up as well. Take those negatives, turn them into something positive. And even when you do something small, saying parked at the other end of the parking lot, even if the parking lot was full, but you parked at the other end anyway, because you didn't have a choice, but you still walked all the way in, right? And you got extra steps. Congratulations. That is awesome, right? Even though you might not have thought that you wanted to, but you did it anyway. And you should be like, wow, look at that. I had to park all the way at the other end and I walked in. Turn that into a positive and know that you just did something awesome, right? So all these things that keep pushing us down, if we could try and get them up little by little with support systems, by ourselves, by turning those negatives into positive, all the little things that we do. We're talking about the fitness. So parking, like I said, or we took the steps instead of the elevator, things like that. All these little things, they're all going to add up, and you're going to start to eventually lose some of these like negative things that are going on in our heads.
I know for me, and when I help with some happiness coaching, the key is that critical voice is not you, which is why I call it a different name. You are balance-centered, Beth. I'm balance-centered, Dr. Marissa. And that integrated persona is stronger and more powerful than the critic. And when I put the critic in the passenger seat and say, darling, you got to be tired at yelling at me for the longest time ever. You need a vacation. Sit down. I got this. I'm driving the car. That way I know who I am. I'm not that critical voice and not giving it that so much power, not throwing it out on the 405 or into, the Jersey Shore, but, because the opposite of the critic is the protector. So I like my critic because it helped keep me alive when I was a kid, right? I didn't run into the middle of the street and I didn't burn my hand on the stove. But right now, a lot of us who continue to carry that critic as the dominant person, that's when it hurts us, because nothing you ever do is enough. So I think what your great advice on, just do what you can. And you have another great testimonial who just absolutely says that is a great strategy. It's hard to keep up with everyone else in class, realizing you don't have to keep up it is its own journey. Like Beth says all the time, you do you. She encourages each of us to find our own level 10. Great show. Thank you. Thank you, Marge Shackham.
Thank you, Marge.
Yeah, for that kind comment. And absolutely, that's a great, you do you.
I say that all the time. That's what I say. That's like my thing. I'm always like, you do you, don't worry about what anyone else is doing, but you do you. Know that you can do what you can do and give me what you're best at that.
That's not easy though, because I think we grow up or learn in society, or even at the age of 10, the research in my field, that says kids are born non-self-conscious. They laugh, they dance, they giggle, they hug, they love. And then somewhere around the age of 8 to 10, they suddenly become self-conscious and they say, she's prettier than me. He's smarter than me. She has more than me. And so it's an interesting phenomena. Even kids who are not one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma. And I think that's an interesting thing. It's part of, are we born that we somehow get that switch? Is there a way to stop doing that when we're young? And if you're not young anymore, how do you move from that so that you can act on your own behalf and you do you? That's my version of you do you, is act on your own behalf. And it doesn't matter what other people are doing. So, yeah. Yes. I'm looking for some affirmation there, Beth.
Sorry. I agreed with you. I totally agreed with you. That's what I was saying. I totally agreed with you. Yeah, it's you do you, and you're looking at it as like more on the psych side. I'm looking at it more on the fitness wellness side, right? And together it's works amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that answers my question, is when I have that voice saying, yes, it is logical and I should, and I end up shitting on myself and not feeling good about it. It starts with self-love and self-care. I deserve to have good health. I deserve to feel good about my body. I'm worthy of that.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time that, like, to never feel guilty when you take that time out. When we're talking about time, never feel guilty about the time you take for you when it comes to your health, because you deserve it. You are worth it. You are the best investment you could ever make is on yourself. And I tell that all the time. So I 100% agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure. Now you have a book that also speaks to that. Tell me about this Think Healthy book.
Be healthy. It's right here.
Yay!
Think healthy, be healthy. It's strategies that are going to help you guys get to the goals, to feel confident, to get to where you want to be. It is going to guide. It's like it has a little workbook in there. It also has recipes, but it's talking about your whole self. It has fitness, nutrition, sleep, meditation, everything, all well-rounded, everything that you guys need to start feeling balanced. It's all about feeling well-balanced and confident. I want you to gain the confidence back that you maybe have lost along the way. And I want you guys to know that you're worth it. And it tells you in this book as well, you are worth it. This $20 is the best investment because you are the best investment to yourself. And you guys have to understand that every time you put the time out for yourself when it comes to your health, never feel guilty, because you are 100% worth it and deserve it.
Fantastic. So where can you get the book?
You can get the book anywhere, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere online, all of it. Anywhere that they sell books, you can get that book. So go for it. I think you're going to really enjoy it. While you're reading it, you actually can hear my voice talking to you. So it's kind of, a lot of people actually like that as well. So you're not just like reading it. It feels like someone's actually, like me, is talking to you as you're going through it.
Great motivational buddy. You can walk with her. Is it in audiobook that they can listen to?
Not yet.
Not yet,
coming,
but it
though.
will be.
It's
It will.
coming. It is coming,
Right.
but it's not out yet.
Well, I always wiggle my fingers when I do manifest, intentions to manifest. So it's there. It's there. And another invitation from yours truly as well. If you're in Southern California, I teach a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. And one of the forms is called the butterfly. And it is specifically to help you with those voices that tell you you're not beautiful. And you take the power of the breath and chi, which is eternal energy, to begin to soften the voice and then eventually have it sit and step aside. So I only teach once a month, every last Saturday of the month, which is the one coming up. So I wanted to invite all of you to that class. Go to drmarissa.life and go ahead and sign up there. If you're in Jersey and you want to try that, then please do go to drmarissa.life and there's a download there for you as well. And as an Asian Oprah giveaway, I'll give one away today because I love my honorable moniker. For those of you who don't know, I was introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah, didn't make it up, by Michael Bernard Beckwith, my big brother teacher. And so she looked at me and said, "Nice pants." And it took everything for me not to say, "Do you want them?" But because of her, I do give away. Don't give away cars yet, but if you're a dealership, I can do that. But you get a download. You get a download of Balanced Tai Qigong. That's
I love
today's
it.
giveaway. And next time, I'll ask Beth if she wants to give a copy of her book away. I did not warn her yet. So 2 weeks from now, I'm happy to say she's coming on twice a month now. So we'll give them something to anticipate. If you'd like a copy of her book for free, you'll have to tune in 2 weeks with Beth's show so you can find out how to do that. How's that for an enticing commercial? You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Today, it is my new special series every first and third Tuesday of the month with fitness and more, health and happy and stepping up to your best life. Co-host Beth Linder-Moss. All right, now we are, as usual, in the last quarter of the show. How did that happen? We only have 17 minutes left. So what have we not covered? I think we've done a really good job in excuses.
So I think there's a couple more that we didn't cover.
Okay.
Some people don't want to spend money on it, right? So sometimes they don't want to go to the gym, or they might find the gym intimidating, right? So there's a lot of ways that you can still work out. You can follow my Instagram and TikTok for workouts, but you could also in general just follow videos at home. You can go outside. You could go mall walking depending on where you're living and you're listening to this. If it's not warm out and you need to go inside, you could go mall walking. You could do things, just steps and all different easy ways to work out at home. Follow my videos because they're very easy to do at home. And sometimes you feel intimidated around others, or you just don't want to go to the gym because sometimes that time thing gets into that way again, but you can still do it at home. So there are no excuses, right?
No excuses. I use the gospel according to Nike. When I get up in the morning before the show, I roll out, the alarm goes off at 6:20. And before my mind has a chance to engage the debate that my critic is so good at, I say, just do it. And I don't
There you go. Exactly.
I don't
You know
think.
what? I set my clothes out the night before, and actually my girls sometimes sleep in their clothes so that they're up and ready to go. Like if they have like an early, like one plays fields, but I have twins. So my twins are 17 and one plays field hockey, one plays soccer, right? Sometimes they just sleep in their clothes the night before, so you don't even have to think about it and just go, right? So you could do that too. I lay my clothes out the night before. So when I get up, they're ready to go. I don't even have to think about what to wear. I don't have to worry about it. I am just bring it into the bathroom and get dressed and walk out the door, right? Brush my teeth and stuff. But walk out the door.
Fantastic.
So I'm like ready to go.
Fantastic. I'm looking for some of your, I was going to pop it up on YouTube. I should have asked you for, we'll get that for the next show because I'd love to see some of your
Yeah,
YouTube.
they're all on they're on Instagram.
Oh,
and
they're on
TikTok.
Instagram. No wonder I can't find you on YouTube.
Yeah, Instagram and TikTok. Instagram and
Okay, so
TikTok
you
is
have
where you'll
Instagram and
find-
TikTok. I've got YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So we got you covered. But that's a great thing. I never even thought about sleeping. Although sleeping in my bathing suit probably not comfortable, especially if I have to, have a call in the middle of.
That's true. Just have it like,
would
but
be
if you
good.
have it ready for yourself when you get up in the morning, you can put it back on. So yeah.
Fantastic. Let's see. The Max Challenge of South Brunswick. You won't regret it. Is Colleen's Cavies. Is that yours?
No, it's not mine. It's one of the places I work.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So there's another one. Now, I'm going to talk to the women for a second, only because this is a Happy 88 tool that I use that people know me for, and it's called Have a Guy Day, because you mentioned the gym. And when you go to the gym, it's really interesting how most women, when they see themselves in the mirror, will look down and walk. And most men who get to the gym and look in the mirror, they, not all, but most of them will stop, kind of check themselves out, do a couple of poses, see if that rep worked any, particular thing. And it's so amazing to me to see that difference. Now, so I'm not bashing men. I'm saying have a guy day, because you are, most of the time, women are more critical than men are of themselves. So most women think they are not as attractive, not as thin, and not as smart as they actually are. And most men, on the other hand, think they are better looking, have more hair, and are more buff than they actually are. So I think we could do with a good dose of having that self-denial or blind faith in yourself and your looks that many men have. Again, not male bashing. I really think that women could learn something on that. Quit being so hard on yourself. Quit, take the compliment, receive the compliment. I've had to practice this. You look great. You've lost so much weight. And I will say, yes, but I still have, and I'll stop myself and I'll say, thank you very much.
Good.
So,
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about one more excuse that I hear a lot too. One more excuse, and then we can keep going. But
no. Go.
Is that people say that they get bored, right? Do you get bored? Sometimes
No.
people get bored. But what you could do is you could change it up every day. Sometimes you might want to do Zumba. Sometimes you might want to do a walk. Sometimes you might want to do strength training. Sometimes you might want to go. My favorite, I love paddleboarding. I'm a huge paddleboarder. Yoga. I'm a huge yoga person as well. But I do, I change it up. And that's something that you might want to do, because maybe you do get bored going and doing the same exact workout every single day, right? It could totally get boring. So what you want to do is just to switch it up so that you don't get bored, because some people definitely get bored. And I get it. But if you change it up, then, then that excuse is right out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I don't get bored. I paddleboard too. I love that. That's a beautiful, yeah.
I love
Because
paddleboard. I do yoga on it as well.
Yeah, I'm very lucky because my building has paddle boards. And I'm just show you where I paddleboard. Right, let's see, right there. You see it?
Wow.
Yeah. So I get to, when you come visit, that's where you're gonna go. So
I'm coming. It's winter here. I'm getting on a plane.
But yeah, it is. There's so much to do. And I know in our building, we're having elevator issues. And I just made that connection when you said parking far. Instead of complaining about the elevator being down, I could take the steps, right?
Steps. You get extra steps in that. Get on the watch, extra steps.
And but we're that instant, convenient thing that Americans are kind of like, the complaints come from things not being easy enough. I'm just keeping an eye on the time, but that is also something that works against us, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? We want ease and comfort, and when anything is an inconvenience, we just have a hissy fit, which is kind of silly. There's a great video on YouTube called First World Problems. OMG, it is one of the funniest videos. My daughter actually turned me on to it when she was a teenager. But just how ridiculous we are as Americans in the things that we complain about. So instead of complaining, put a walk in your complaint. We were complaining about we can't go anywhere. We can't go anywhere. It's like, you can go anywhere. Go outside for a walk. Nobody's going to be 6 feet with you if you go for a walk.
And being outside is perfect for it anyway. So you're not going to get any germs from people while you're outside.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Okay.
Here we go. Have you always been this motivated? Was there ever a time where you weren't practicing what you teach? Or, what was that thing that made you become this mega motivator that you are?
I think that I think I've been pretty motivating for most of what I've done. I have seen, because I started in cardiac rehab, and I got to, which was a really great place to start actually for my career, because I started with people who were definitely not in places that they wanted to be, right? Because they were in cardiac rehab, meaning they just had some kind of cardiac event or at risk of having cardiac event, and talking to them and their families and educating everybody on what was going on in their bodies and how we could change it and all these things. I think I found some of that there. But I was kind of a motivator. I think I've been a motivator for a while, because even when I was in college, I was an aerobics instructor. And so I've been teaching and doing all of this for a really long time, just getting to know people. I'm having empathy towards them. I keep telling people, try and turn some of those negatives into positives. And the more I think I'm helping others do it, I think it helps me as well, to be honest with you. So I've been motivating people a long time. I truly believe in it. I haven't had, when it comes to fitness, I am lucky enough to say that I really have been working out almost my whole life, probably, especially my entire adulthood. I've definitely been working out. Interesting enough, when my husband and I decided to have kids, I said to him, here's the deal. When we have kids, I get an hour a day to work out. No matter what, I get an hour a day, and you get the kids, and I get to work out for an hour a day. So I've always kind of been working out, and I've done it. I go through slumps I'm human like everybody else, but I will say that it hasn't stopped me from working out, but I have done a couple of marathons and stuff. I've actually was in San Diego. I did a marathon. I've done them a while. It's been a while back since I've done them. But I try to set goals for myself, which kind of help to keep me motivated to go. But everyone goes through a slump. I think it's just human nature. We all get down on ourselves at times. After pregnancies, I had twins, my girls, right after I had my girls, and you're bigger than you were, and you look at yourself and you're like, I look different. I'm not the same as I was before, right? My body changed, right after I had my son, who's the older one, my body went back pretty quickly. But after the twins, it was different. And so you had to, again, learn how to self-love for yourself and say, it's okay. I just had a baby. It took, it didn't happen overnight. So I can't expect that I'm going to go back overnight, and everything might not be the same anyway. So we all go through that. I think it's just, pretty normal. If it didn't, I don't even know, if that's even truthful. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
does your husband work out as much as you do?
No, he does not. I will say that what he does do, anybody who knows my husband knows, what he does is he talks on the phone while he's working, and he can walk 10 to 13 miles a day, because he walks and he just goes back and forth and he paces. But he doesn't, because we don't consider that a workout, but he definitely gets his steps in. He goes to the gym, but not as consistently. He doesn't work out as hard as me. But he does walk a lot though.
Now, is he as fit as you?
No, he's not.
Okay.
But he likes to think he is.
Okay. Well, that's that guy day thing, right? That's the proof in the pudding right there.
I will say though, he's a sprinter and I'm not a sprinter, so he might beat me in a sprint. That much I will give him. I'm not a sprinter. I can run for hours and keep going and doing cardio for hours, but that fast sprint, he could probably beat me in this fast sprint though. But
So
overall,
you just gave the solution to another possible excuse that we didn't cover, which is, what if you're with someone, your significant other doesn't want to do the workout with you, right? Or isn't it on the same fitness page as you are? So it doesn't seem to bother you. I mean, you just like, okay, whatever, you do you, right? You do you and I'll do me. So, but I love that you factored that in. If you want kids, I got an hour a day to work out. That's good. And that is maybe, for the woman, the average, not all women, but many women who kind of screwed themselves. Like I want it all, right? I want equal pay, equal work. And then we get equal pay, equal work. And then we come home and we're still doing equal work on top of it because we just do it better. So, factor that in, give yourself permission and put it in a contract with your significant other. Oh, I got a nice compliment here from Colleen. I'm going to put this really great show. Ladies, love your vibe. Marissa Pay, have a great day. And to you too. And we are now in the final stretch. Do you have a last word for us, Beth Linder-Moss?
I'm just going to go with, you do you. Got it? And just know you are worth it. You deserve it all. So try and find the balance to get everything in for yourself. And sometimes the balance means a little bit here and a little bit there. But as long as you get it, remember, you do you. You're in competition with nobody else but yourself. Remember that.
Beautiful. Let's give a happiness balance step up challenge for them for 2 weeks. So what do you want them, for anybody who's moving off the couch? So what's the one thing they can do for 2 weeks before we meet again that they can do, that's not like a huge hour workout a day?
Okay, well, the easiest thing is, I'm going to give like choices, right? The easiest thing to do is park at the end of a parking lot. Don't park in the front. Go to the last spot and walk in. And if there's elevators and it's not 100, you're not going to the top of the Empire State Building, take the steps and just try and get in a couple extra steps. Take your dog for one extra walk. The little things, all these little things.
Perfect. So you heard it here on Step Up to Your Best Life with Beth Linder-Moss and Dr. Marissa for 2 weeks until we see Beth again. You'll see me tomorrow morning as usual, but for 2 weeks, park to the furthest spot, walk into work, and take your dog for one extra walk. And your dog's going to love you for that too. So see if you can do it. If you can do it, that's the way you get the book. So if you do it, you'll be entered into a drawing to get Beth's book. Okay. So that's in 2 weeks. So we'll see you in 2 weeks to see who is able to meet that balance, step up, happiness challenge from Dr. Marissa and new co-host Beth Linder-Moss. This is the end of a great show as usual. Thank you very much for joining me and in our new series.
This is so much fun.
This
I
is
love
it.
this.
Yeah. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room with my co-host Beth Linder-Moss. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.